Welcome to TomoxInterview. This is my second series doing this interview. We're here in Seattle, Washington, at one of my neighborhoods that I like to come. This is John, one of friend now who I met in an art exhibit and told him about my Nepal experience. So he already has gone to Nepal once, but this time he went to another project, and this is what the interview will be about. So the question I want to ask you is, what made you make the move to do a project in Mexico after Nepal?
Well, I got to Nepal and like right when I got on project, it felt like I was like I'd come home kind of.
Yes.
And it was just the vibe of the base and the people there and the people in the community who were like the beneficiaries of the school that we were building. Their warmth and attitude and friendliness and kindness towards us, and just the entire experience was like more than I ever could have dreamed. And so I went through all that. It was absolutely incredible, and I got back home and I wanted to do it again, and I was curious to see if like if other projects are the same.
Yes.
You know, if that was like an isolated experience. And I kind of had a sense from talking with people who had done multiple projects that that was the norm, but I wanted to like see. And so I went to Mexico only for 3 weeks, which was way too short, but it was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, so much of it was similar. There's obviously a lot of cultural differences between Mexico and Nepal, but a lot of the big stuff was exactly the same with just different people. It was good vibes, doing really good work for a community that appreciated the fact that we were there. Had a great relationship with the people there. They were incredibly generous and welcoming towards us, and yeah, I just wanted to like blast off right when I got back to Seattle. So, I don't know.
When you said coming home, was that feeling isolated? Was that similar from Nepal? Although each experience we do go through, it will be different on its own, but the feeling of coming home, was that still the same in Mexico?
Yes and no. So I tried to take Mexico as much as I could internally as a, you know, I wanted Nepal to be its own thing, and I wanted to go into Mexico with no expectations.
Yes.
But of course, like, so I was in Nepal for 2 months, and like you're living with people and sleeping in tents and like all going through this experience together in Nepal. And so there's a part of you, like, you grow so close to the people.
Yes.
And then when you get to a new project, whether or not you let yourself like acknowledge it, part of you is expecting it to be just like you're immediately close with everything, and you forget the fact that like it takes work to like, you know, to like build common experiences with people and like to build relationships. But that being said, like the vibe right off the bat was the same. Again, it's good people doing good work, and so yeah, it was the same, but it was also different, you know?
Yeah, because I didn't feel like I was putting work to create that feeling per se, because it was like authentic.
It is
organically grew.
Yeah, it's super natural.
Yeah. Very neutral, because I think what helps is being in that kind of environment is that no one cares what you are back home, or no one cares what you are in the so-called quote-unquote in reality world, right? Yeah. So once you take the strip off of their status and their title, they have to know who they are, and then from there they can actually really get to know who they connect with and they don't.
Yeah.
Because like turnover of the volunteers is so fast.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, some will stay for a week, some will stay for a month. And even for myself, like I start talking to people who were there for only a week, just for the sake of getting to know people.
Yeah.
Some I clicked and some I didn't. And to me that was very nice because it's like process of elimination, you know?
Yeah.
It's like no hate, it's all love. We just don't vibe. That's cool. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's all good. I think there's definitely everybody comes into a project with different backgrounds and different personalities, and like some people are really shy, but they want to do good work in the world, you know, and so like even for people like that, if they're there on project for a week, I think like it's just as important to like try and like bring them in and make sure that like they feel welcome too. But I know what you mean, like about like vibing with certain people. Like that's life, you know. Like you connect with certain people more than others, and like there's definitely a sense of like, I think everybody respects anybody who comes to the project like for any amount of time, you know, because they're there. Like people go there to do something for somebody other than themselves.
There's like a non-verbal common agreement why we're here.
Yeah.
From that, the building up part depends more on how they actually interact.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we were mentioning duration, so people who do want to try, what is the minimal amount you think is appropriate to be full of the experience rather than partial?
Yeah. So when I signed up for Nepal, I did 2 months because that's what you said you did, and I was like, that's cool, man. Tomo seems like he's got it going on. So I signed up for 2 months, and I do think that that's like minimum amount. If you have 2 months to do a project or to volunteer, like, do 2 months, you know? Because then you really get a sense of the work you're doing. You become good at things. You can, like, for all hands, you can become a team leader or a base manager or something like that. But you also grow closer with the people who are volunteering there for extended amounts of time. So like for Mexico, I didn't have 2 months. I only had a month, and I wasn't able to get down there for as soon as I wanted, so I only had 3 weeks. And like that was the perfect amount of time for me to start really growing close with people, but then being like
Yanked out of there.
ripped out of there. Yeah. And like it's heartbreaking because like you really do grow to love the people you volunteer with. Like, I'm just like, I see all these faces in my head right now, like the people in Mexico who like I wish I could have been spending more time with.
Yeah.
Like right now, like I could be in Mexico right now, and that thought is like, I'm just like, but that's life, you know? You take what you can, and like, I learned from that, and I learned from people in those 3 weeks, and like, met awesome people down there, so, yeah, you know, it's better than nothing. Like, if you have 2 weeks, sign up for 2 weeks. If you have a week, sign up for a week, and like, get a taste of what it's like to volunteer overseas or like domestically, like outside your own city. Like travel volunteering is awesome.
Yes. Because we have done it, now we have that, I guess, credibility, so-called. For people who are thinking about it, but still needs that push, what would your advice be for those individuals? Or even, you know, the people who's watching this right now.
Like take healthy risks in life, you know, like I had a lot of preconceived notions before I went to Nepal on what the experience was going to be like, and I mean we had talked like twice before I went, and you kind of scoped me out on like some pro tips, which was tight, you know. But you never know what something's going to be like until you get there. But like there were things I was, you know, loosely scared of and like unsure of, and I was like, gosh, how am I going to get, like, how am I even going to know that I show up at the right bus station to get to base, and how am I going to know what what stop to get off at in the Nepali mountains, right? You know, and like all this kind of like there's all this stuff going through your head, but you know it's for a good cause. You know other people have done it before you, so it can't be that hard. Like people do this stuff, they do crazy stuff. Like they put themselves through like these good risks, and like by doing that, like your world becomes richer, and you grow personally, and like you know you become more comfortable with the unknown and like good risk taking.
Yeah. How about for overthinkers like myself?
Yeah.
Who, let's say I didn't, but then I'm like, well, what if it doesn't work out? What would you say to that? Although it's a healthy risk, what if the output isn't what I expected?
I don't know, that's life, man.
Right?
Like, yeah, like, right? That's life. Like, nothing ever works out the way, like, maybe you ideally dream it to. Except in this situation, for me, like, it kind of has.
No, for me too.
Yeah, like, it kind of has worked out, which is why we're talking about it.
Yes.
But, I don't know. But the worst thing that happens is you learn something about yourself and you have a good adventure in the process, right? Like, what if I got to Nepal and I got on the bus and the bus broke down and I had a nervous breakdown in the process, and I was like, I gotta go home right now. I ate some bad dal bhat before I went on the bus, you know, and I was like, I gotta go home right now. This isn't for me.
I miss dal bhat.
Yeah. But I mean, that totally did not happen. But if it did, then maybe I would learn something about myself that tells me, like, all right, John, maybe you're not like a world traveler, and that's totally fine. Like, that's okay. But part of traveling is like dealing with unexpected things that come your way, and like figuring out, like, all right, how do I like push forward? How do I communicate when I don't know the language that local people speak? And like, you know, it's part of the adventure.
Absolutely.
Like, and like, the more you live through stuff like that, and like look back on like the like potential roadblocks in the road, like they're hilarious to look back on.
It becomes a great story.
Yeah, it's
a great story.
It's good story.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like, it's fun in the moment if you have a positive attitude about it.
Yeah, because you can just laugh it off.
Yeah. And the thing, like, you really start to realize is that people in different countries are so willing to help you. Like, if you're just like calm and you smile and you ask and you like, you know, whether you're communicating verbally or through like pointing at something, a piece of paper, or like if you have service, like something on a phone, you know, like everybody's willing to help everybody.
Absolutely. And what helps with that process is before you go to a foreign country, at least know some basic words. That can open a lot of doors, because by knowing few words or sentences, they acknowledge that you're trying. And they like that a lot, because I have seen some backpackers who wouldn't try, and the locals will not bother to engage with them. And then they come up to me and they're like, wow, why do the locals, engage with them? I'm just like, well, man, like I do my homework, I study. I might not have the best pronunciation, but I just laugh it off.
Good.
Yeah, it's all good.
And you smile. Like if you smile, people dig it.
Yeah, people dig it, man. And they can tell when you're like nervous smiling too, which is the funny part.
Oh, this guy needs help. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, no, it's great, man. Yeah. So I think for people who want to step out of their comfort zone to do such thing, not even in traveling, it can be any kind of outlet that you fantasize about it. I think through this conversation, what I would like you to take out of it is taking what John said, healthy risks.
Yeah.
Because by taking a healthy risk, if the outcome doesn't turn out the way you want it to do, it doesn't hurt as bad as taking a risk that is uncalculated. Because healthy risk means that you're calculating the potential outcome. You're doing risk management, damage control, preparation. And there's only so much you can plan for, but your plan is indispensable. But if you don't have a plan, I think that's where, when things go down south, it puts you in the state of mind, well, I can't do this. And if that is the word choice, it's not the experience's fault per se, it's how that individual have its own narrative in him or herself. And yeah, I mean, because like, I'm not gonna lie, I think John was pretty nervous when I was so excited to tell him about it. But then like, here he is now, and we get to have these enriching conversation, and yeah, it's just like, we don't need any understanding per se, but we just understand through the vibe or the energy that we send out to each other.
Yeah.
And I got to learn that through traveling, putting myself out there more and more. And
We were talking last week about like the risk taking and stuff, and how when you are traveling abroad, or like when you do anything in life that involves like some sort of risk, or not knowing, like being nervous about the outcome, or being nervous like what other people think like about it, like so much of that is built up in your head. Like just go for it, like be calm, go for things, take healthy risks, and like if you get somewhere and one door is closed, like another door might be open just around the corner. You know what I mean? Like different opportunities pop up all the time if you're out, like if you're putting yourself out there and like seeing the world and like exploring places you want to explore. Like you'll meet people, you'll see different opportunities and stuff, and like it happens. It happens. It just does. Like, yeah.
and it's contagious. Like, it's contagious. I didn't think at the time John will pull the trigger, but then over time he started asking me the questions. And then, out of probably 20, 30 people I share my story, I got to put a spark in one individual, and it's just like a win for both of us.
I stalked him on Facebook. I found this dude. Tomo on Facebook. Right. I was looking for like all these all hands groups in Nepal, and I was like, God, I'm never gonna find this guy. And I find Thomas on all hands Nepal Facebook.
I forgot.
Yeah. Pretty funny about that. But I don't know if you want me to get to this. So I went to Mexico, great experience there. I was talking with staff there about like maybe it'd be cool to try out for a staff job. I was super nervous about applying for a staff job, so I'm like, I don't know if like people are serious or they say like, yeah, you should apply for a staff job. But I did, and I found out this morning I'm working as a staff member on the Houston project. So So like stuff.
Yo, get out of here.
If you put yourself out there though and take like healthy risks, especially if you're like it's an organization like doing good stuff in the world, like the worst thing that could have happened is like I didn't get a job, right? Whatever. I'm still in the same position I am when I woke up yesterday.
Yes.
But I wake up today and I'm like, I'm going to Houston in 2 weeks, so it's like life, dude.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And just like that, like, for me, I thought it takes time for things to happen. But then over time, I learned that rather than waiting for an opportunity, you create your opportunity. Like John said, if he didn't get the job, by the way, congratulations, he would have still been in the same spot. But by taking that healthy risk, it wouldn't impact him as much by not getting a job. He already was accepting that. And on the bright side, because he got the job, now look, in 2 weeks he's freaking going to Houston as a volunteer coordinator.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that's, you know, just like from this interview, just think about healthy risks. It's scary, but what's on the other side? Oh man, like
You never know.
you never know.
You never know where life's gonna take you.
Yeah.
I never, even a year ago, I never would have considered moving out of Seattle, like seriously. But after I went to Nepal, I was like, yeah, of course I. You know, if the right opportunity came up, of course I would try it. And then now I'm like, I'm pumped to leave, you know? I mean, I love it here, but but I'm also like, I know that there's so much else out there and so many good people, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes Tomo Interview Series 2. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
That was good.
Series 2.
Yeah, right.